Oh dear. Bait. Bait is such a common practice on the internet, used for online trolling activities, and honestly, in recent times it is hard to tell what is and is not bait. The video I have shown in the beginning is from a TikTok account called South Park O Video. As the name suggests, they like South Park, and create, I suppose, what you would call fan animations to their account. Now, I have been wanting to discuss this account since I first created my channel back in June, but was caught up in making 3 other videos at the time, and lost my thoughts on it for a while. The biggest question I had when I came across this was, is this real? So really, let's find that out here in the first chapter. The grotesque, bloodshot, yellow, crusty eyes, the bizarre sunken-in face, a common trope within the character designs of the South Park O Video crew, along with the hundreds of posts on their Twitter account of the same art style, featuring South Park characters in Rule 34 actions. And don't worry, from what I've seen, it is at least not the kids. Now, most people who cast bait varying from person to person usually will not go so far on their alter troll ego. Again, that does vary though. Some trolls that bait will go to the absolute extreme, but even so it is hard to find evidence of a troll going this deep into character. There is also the matter of the Wattpad account created by the alleged 2 creators. Let's take a look at that Wattpad. First, you might notice the name, Kukas Biscuit. Weird, right? I wanted to go MatPat mode and look up this alternative alias, but found nothing of interest, other than that Kukas looks like cookie, which is essentially a cookie in French, which could mean cookie, because the British call cookies biscuits, but I think it is also because the creators have said they come from Quebec, which has French-speaking backgrounds. I would find this information pretty useless if the source material from the creators was not so bizarre, but anything that can shed light on the mind behind this madness is good information, I would argue. It should also be said that the @ associated with the Wattpad account is called INFJXENTP, which, for those of you sane members of society, this calls to the INFJ and ENTP personalities, a little test people take that tells your personality based off of introvert and extrovert tendencies. The X in the middle means, in fanfiction terms, a shipping or a relationship of 2 characters together. This is not the 2 creators who are twin sisters as this photo represents. From what I gather, INFJXENTP is a very common fanfiction shipping device, bringing 2 unlikely partners together. Now let's view a brief snippet from the fanfiction they created called South Park Love is in the Air. Love is in the air. Sometimes you're not sure what gender you're attracted to, but if you think you're gay, you're gay. At Mr. Garrison's house. Ding dong. It's probably him. I think you're too big for this place. I guess we need to go somewhere else. I know the perfect spot. Let me show it to you. Okay. So, is it serious? Maybe. Honestly, I've seen so much on the internet, there are higher odds of this being serious than there are of it being bait. There are also other videos that feel so ironic that they could not possibly be real. For now, let's assume it's not serious. Either way, it is the most bizarre thing I have ever seen. TikTok Zoomers and late millennials have been reviving and digging up old shows, movies, and games to stink up the fandoms with annoying new fans. Right now, South Park has been insanely popular on TikTok, leading thousands of people to become fans from just one funny South Park clip they come across. As such, the majority of modern South Park fans have not actually watched the show, and if they do watch it, they usually misunderstand points and plot lines made from the show. The people behind this account have clearly watched the show, at least I would like to think so. Either way, This near content farm type of content they produce enters TikTok with the tag South Park. It leads to a whole lot of the newer generations finding it and thinking that this is the new Garten of Banban or Roblox horror game. Kids are so desperate for edgy, serious media, this comes across as the new best thing because it makes them feel uncomfortable and scared. So occasionally you may find one or two in the comments of one of these videos with a South Park OC, or role-playing their own version of a South Park character in a very bizarre way. Sort of like how Five Nights at Freddy's videos and stories were like crack to most middle schoolers no more than 9 years ago. TikTok videos on any old topic dug up and polished affects the new middle schoolers in the same way, except they usually end up almost ruining the source material. Not because kids like it, but because of the way they like it. As well as the Zoomers and other newly turned adults start enjoying it, they also end up creating their own versions of Sonic OCs. I can't say much though, I used to watch FNAF videos like crazy, especially the really badly photoshopped pizza places that I legitimately thought were real. To be honest, you shouldn't let a fanbase or a younger audience stop you from enjoying something. If it bothers you that a kid likes something you like, it seems a bit insecure. Regardless of all that, the main consumers of these videos are most likely young kids, Zoomers who think it's a meme, or an actual South Park clip, and people like me watching because of how disgustingly intriguing these videos are. Probably the easiest question I can answer is why these are being made. Even looking aside from the question of is this bait, the reason is that there is a niche for every single person on this planet. Somehow or another, certain people have evolved an interest in various internet communities and fandoms. From countless Sonic OCs to countless anime fanfiction, it is inevitable that a popular thing gains an audience and a fandom around it. Things that are not even at the base of a series have fandoms, almost as a sub-fandom, where only super specific parts are featured, can become a whole fandom fitting that niche that people crave. Think of the Animorph community on DeviantArt that has its own sub-fandom of Animorphs that are just inflatable pool toys. Even something like a fetish community on the internet has its sub-fandoms. The people who created this have just created something that they enjoy, and as bizarre and disturbing as that may be, that is ultimately why they are made. People enjoy them, and South Park videos seems to enjoy making them. Now, is there really any harm in this? Probably, but it is funny, and I hope to see more of probably the most grotesque South Park community there is. Cheers to you, South Park videos. What a bizarre time for the internet. The landscape always changes, yet the communities and people always end up coming back for better or for worse. I can't wait to see what the communities around modern shows and indie stories end up becoming within the next few years. Whatever happens, it is bound to not top the weirdness that South Park videos instills upon its viewers. I'll be watching though, and hoping that whatever happens, my future child will not like it. And just to clarify, don't mess with them. Just leave them alone and let's see what they create for the near future. For now, this has been Poi. Thank you for watching, and remember to surf at your own risk.